Lincoln's Inn really is seeing inside a different world. It has buildings from 7 centuries, real gas lamps, a complete Georgian terrace, a chapel with door pews, some of which have locks on them, a terraced library, and they are all still in use in an ever-evolving site. This is quite an incredible place. Lincoln's Inn in central London. As part of the open house weekend, the private estate of Lincoln's Inn was open to the public, and what an amazing experience. This video will take a look and highlight some of the features and history. It is very likely you will recognise many of the buildings on this site because due to its unique nature, it's been used in many films and TV series, including, just to name a couple, Wonder Woman and Downton Abbey. I hope you enjoy this video. Please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching Eclectic Experience, change seen through images. Lincoln's Inn is located here in central London. And here it is on a map from the late 19th century. Lincoln's Inn is one of 4 training and membership societies for barristers, lawyers in England and Wales, and it has evolved over time. The exact reason for its name and its precise start date are unknown, but it did celebrate 600 years in 2022 using 1422 as a start date, though by 1422 it was already fully in existence and operation. For context, 1422 was in the reign of Henry VIII. This is a map of the site from the guidebook. The main entrance is through this gateway, which is next to Lincoln's Inn Fields, which incidentally is the largest public square in London. Starting with a building that is very visible from the roadside, the Great Hall. It was built to have impact, and it certainly does. This imposing building has the year it was constructed, 1843, built into the brickwork on the side. Moving inside, the hall has a huge ceiling and an incredible painting at the end. This is a seriously impressive hall. There is so much to take in, but even more when walking into the octagonal lobby that joins the hall to the following building, which could itself be straight out of Harry Potter, the library. And what a library. This really is like stepping back in time. It is one room but has 3 levels, and it is still very much in use today. When lawyers need to consult historic laws, they come here. There are also a few other books, including the first edition of Utopia from 1516. This was written by Thomas More, Henry VIII's Lord High Chancellor, who was a member of this inn. He was, though, famously executed for high treason, primarily as he disagreed with the break from Catholicism, and he would not accept Henry VIII as the head of the Church of England. Moving on now to the chapel building. One of the most impactful parts of the chapel is actually under it. The detail is amazing. Then going upstairs to the chapel itself, it is very impressive with stained glass, a high pulpit, but then look at these impressive old style pews with doors. The pews date from 1623, and what I found absolutely incredible is some had locks on them, meaning almost certainly they were reserved for certain people who kept them under lock and key. Much of London was devastated during World War II, but here, fortunately, the site had minimal damage. But going back to the previous World War, it did suffer from a Zeppelin raid in 1915. However, the damage was mainly broken glass. A further illustration of the long use of this site is this fragment, found in 1822, currently on the wall of the chapel. It probably relates to an even older chapel that had been on this site. Now going back in time a bit further, the old hall is the oldest building here, dating from around 1485, though it has been remodelled and rebuilt several times since then, including a significant 1920s restoration. However, the level of care taken in the 1920s is impressive, an example being the replacement of the oak screens being carved from 16th and 17th century wood. There is also this really impressive screen at one end, dating from 1624, and this interesting clock at the top. Stepping out, all round this site are reminders of its long history with plaques and signs, but I have to admit, I found fully functioning gas street lighting to be the most surprising. No doubt this also helps the appeal as a filming location, but you won't see this hardly anywhere else. As the site has been in constant use, many buildings would have been put up, worn out and replaced over the hundreds and hundreds of years. The earliest ones would mainly have been made of wood. However, there is a piece of early 13th century stone that was probably part of the bishop's house that once stood here. It was dug up as part of the building works in 1877 and has been displayed here as part of this wall. I visited as part of the open house weekend, but there are regular tours available, both guided and self-guided. Details are at the Lincoln's Inn website, which I've included in the description below. There are toilets and a cafe on the site. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be making more similar ones, so please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching Eclectic Experience, change seen through images.